and I'll be like,
So,
"Woo!"
oh, it's starting.
No, I can hear everything just fine.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to Travel Talk Tuesday on Monday. I hope I don't confuse everybody today, but Charlie asked us to do Monday today because he has some conflicts tomorrow. So we are going to do Travel Talk Tuesday tonight, and you can always watch it tomorrow if you'd like. So, hi, Charlie.
Hello. It's a beautiful
Today,
summer. It's a beautiful
it
summer day,
is.
and after the show, we're going to go work on our tan, right?
All right. Well, not in Austin because it'll be dark. But I just got back from Japan and South Korea, which was a fabulous, amazing trip. Watch out for my video. It's going to be coming up soon. I just finished editing today, so hopefully I'll have it uploaded by the end of the week. And if you would like to enter to win our Alaska cruise on Oceania, please scan my QR code and you'll get to my Travel with Lainey website with all my links. Just scroll down to enter to win the contest, and it's one per email address. So please enter to win our contest this quarter. And if you put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday in your comments, we will give you a $50 gift certificate towards any Charlie the Traveler tour that you book through my agency, Lainey Melnick Dream Vacations. And I am in the Westlake area of Austin, Texas. Charlie's out in LA. And so we are all over the country, all over the world, ready to help you.
And today we're going to
So
be talking about.
Israel and Jordan. So Israel might be a little confusing to some people because there is a lot of bad news about war and how difficult things are traveling there. But Charlie and I decided last week that it was an important country for us to discuss.
It's a beautiful one.
It is, and Jordan is a beautiful addition to any Israeli trip also.
It's very common. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, hun, go ahead.
You got to just shut me up. You know how this works. We've done it enough times now. Jordan is often combined with Israel or with Egypt.
Right.
It's very rare that somebody's only going to go to Jordan because it's a very small country. And people will typically spend anywhere from 3 to 6, 7 days there. So this is typically why they'll combine it with Israel or Egypt.
And Israel's not that big either. It's probably about the size of New York, right? So it's not a large country either, but there's some beautiful, amazing places to go to and historical places for all religions out there. I'm Jewish and Charlie is not. So our combined attack on it gets you to everything that you want to see.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So yeah, I think when things get a little bit more rough, that's when they end up like putting Egypt together with Jordan. And when things are calmer in Israel, that's when they typically combine Israel and Jordan together. At one point, before things flared up again, Israel was getting so much tourism, they didn't have enough tour guides and hotels to accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
So like right before COVID, maybe about 6 months or a year before COVID, they were completely overbooked over everything with no
Yeah.
ability. I mean, every single person working there didn't have time to sit down and have a coffee and ask how your day's going. It was just straight up working nonstop. So when people feel safe, they go there and they go there in hordes.
Yeah, I think that's about when my daughter Skylar went. So when you're Jewish, there's something called a birthright trip that every Jewish child can go to Israel for free. So during college age, about. So she went. I can't remember how old she was, but she was in her 20s, and she loved it so much. They were in Tel Aviv, and she called me and said, "Can I please get an apartment and stay here?" And so they stayed on the beach for another couple of weeks. I can't remember how long she stayed, But Tel Aviv is just a beautiful country or city on the ocean. So much fun, lots of great food. Shakshuka, she became in love with, which is like an egg dish. Anyway, what do you want to go through what you offer in your tour?
What I typically recommend is that people fly into Amman, which is the capital of Jordan, and they fly out of Tel Aviv, the city that you're just talking about right now. Sometimes people will call us and say, "Hey, I've already purchased airfare. What can you do for us?" I mean, we're still going to accommodate, but we typically encourage people to first figure out what their itinerary is before they lock themselves into flights.
Yeah.
You're way better off because you're going to have to get to Amman, and you don't want to backtrack, and you don't want to be going back and forth between the borders. They're not fun. I could tell you that
Right.
one right now. I've done the border crossing. There's 3 of them between Jordan and Israel, and the most pleasant of the 3 is in Eilat, the south, and Aqaba. They're both in the south of the 2 countries. And it's relatively smooth. Typically within 30 minutes, you get over and you're fine. The one that you don't want to be going through is the one in the West Bank. That one, it's not dangerous. It's just really chaotic. You have these people with those little like carts for their luggage, and they'll just bulldoze over your ankles and like push you over and then like, I mean, when I've done it, you'll wait 1 hour in line, and then you finally get to the front, and you'll say, okay, well, now I need my paperwork so I can cross over. And the girl will just sit there and like, I'm going on my break. And just straight up, just put her cigarette down and disappear. And you're just like, what? And you just completely sitting there. So it is the most insane thing. Just straight up, you're waiting there. There's no like, there's no like saying, hey, I'm sorry, you're the last guy. No, it's just, I'm done. I'm stressed out. I'm going. And then the other thing is when you actually get through that part of it, there's the next section where they actually open up all your luggage and all this kind of stuff, and all your stuff's like almost on the floor. So our customers, we virtually never having them go between that border crossing right there. It's almost always the Aqaba, Eilat, and until now we've never had any problem with that whatsoever. It's always been a smooth one.
Eilat is where you go scuba diving, right? Am I thinking about the right city?
The Red Sea, yeah. And
Yeah.
this is again part of the reason why we're encouraging people to purchase one flight into Amman, the capital of Jordan, and have a separate flight from Tel Aviv home.
Yeah, this is a problem I actually have with all of my clients who are international travelers. People think that they got this amazing air deal. They buy the air before they have any idea of what they want to do in the country. And I'm having that issue with customers for Japan that, there are certain airports that are better for you to go in and out of depending on what you're doing. So please let us plan your trip first, and then we can work on the air.
And then here's the next part. I mean, if you're not flexible on the dates, we'll still work with what you have. However, there are certain days of the week which are preferable for you to arrive on than others, and that's specifically because Petra by night is when because it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, of the ancient world. That's the main attraction in Jordan, the most popular, I should say. There's other very nice ones too, but it's illuminated. It's only done though Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if it's just one of those days of the week that you can't coordinate, and you just you'll miss it. But usually people have a little bit of flexibility in their schedule, and we'll help them, and you'll help them look for flights that will allow them to get into the country in time for them to experience Petra by night. It's a very it's a beautiful thing. It's spiritual and romantic, and just the whole thing. I mean, there's guys playing the guitar over there, and then it's something that if you could not miss it, don't miss it. It's a highlight.
Yeah, definitely.
So, now, Petra, although it's the most popular attraction, there is no airport there. And you would think that there's trains or these very fast buses that go between Amman and Petra and all that. Not really. Um,
Mm.
the city of Amman itself is modern. It's a modern city. Um, but for whatever reason, it's just in terms of getting people to Petra, it's more commonly done on a private basis. And it takes about 3 hours, depending on traffic and what time you've arrived. But it takes about 3 hours to do it. So some people want to see Amman itself. It is not your typical Middle Eastern city, where you imagine all these like bazaars, these outdoor
Mm.
markets, and the kind of thing you would imagine of like Damascus or one of these kind of cities. It's more modern. But I
Mm.
personally enjoy Amman because it's got really famous places for eating kunefe.
Mm.
Kunefe is this cheese sweet thing.
Oh.
Um, and I took my dad there and like, I said, Dad, just have a small piece of this thing. It's very filling. You're not going to tell me what to do. I said, Dad, it's really good, but it's really filling. I don't So he took a huge one. You see everybody else, even like overweight people, they have like a small piece. They knew what they're doing. My dad took a big one and then like he ate the whole, he's like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I said, oh yeah, I can tell that you didn't like this because you ate 4 times more than everybody else. Um, but the kunefe is good, and they have also a very famous place for different like types of dishes they have over there. Falafel, as an example, they got a famous like
Mm.
falafel place. So for that, it's good, and they have like a little jewelry district and that kind of thing. So it is nice just for that reason. But most customers, most tourists, they just head straight for Petra
Mm.
from the Amman airport. When you get into Amman, there's a visa. It's called the Wanderer Pass.
Mhm.
Um, and this is kind of unique in the sense that it pays for both your visa and for most of the entry fees.
Oh,
I haven't seen many countries do that. Usually
right.
you're only paying for the visa, or some countries there's no visa fee. This one is a kind of a 2-for-1 type of thing. So use it to get into the country. We pick you up from the airport. We're now taking you via a 3-hour private drive to Petra, and you're staying at a 5-star hotel.
Mm.
Depending on your arrival time, we're going to plan the day accordingly. There's like Little Petra, which is a separate site that's got like something similar you see at Petra, but just on a smaller scale. It's nice to spend like an hour over there.
Mm.
Um, and the other one people love doing, especially night of arrival, is going to a local's home and they make dinner for you. So they'll show you exactly how they're actually preparing the meal and everything else, and then you have dinner together. So it's a good way to
Mm.
start your trip.
Yeah, I love those locals. You feel like you're just part of the community. It makes it very nice to travel.
Yeah, it does. And I'll tell you this, Jordan has some of the best food in the world. I'm not kidding.
Mm.
They're definitely top, um, the top 5, top 7, something like that.
Mm.
And they'll stuff you. They get really happy to know that they've just stuffed you like a turkey. Um, it's part
So
of
it's
their
not like
tradition.
an over the top kind of Arab country like Dubai or I mean, it's not like those countries. It's more like desert, or it's not. Do I have Jordan all wrong?
Jordan, okay, so you've got the Petra itself, and that's where you got like rock formations.
Hmm.
There is a desert part. I'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
But it's also got a lot of stuff sharing with Israel. So you got the baptismal site.
Mm.
The Israeli site is more popular for the baptismal site, from the Bible. It's also got the Dead Sea. So
Right.
more people go on the Israeli side for that. But in times like now, when some people are reluctant to visit Israel, they're doing it on the Jordanian side, you see.
Mm.
Um, so it's that sort of thing. But yeah, so typically they get into Petra. They absolutely love it. There's a donkey ride that we do to get to the second part of Petra, because a lot of people just go to the treasury. That is like the postcard famous um, location for Petra. And people who don't have a tour guide, they just say, okay, well, I've taken my photo, I'm done. There's nothing else to see. And they don't realize there's a whole other section that's got more. You can walk it, or you can take the donkey. Either way it works. Just we use our own guides for this thing. What we definitely don't recommend is when you just go with the locals over there and they'll get like, it's one guy and he's guiding like 2 or 3 donkeys at once. That's dangerous. Because these steps are very narrow, and you've got one guy trying to basically train 3 donkeys all at the same time to go up 1,000 steps. It's stupid. So we don't do that kind of thing. It's 1-to-1, one guide, one donkey, one customer, like that.
And you're not needing security there like you do in some areas.
No. It's a relaxed feeling over there. Yeah, just very hospitable people and lots of history, lots of nature. Yeah, nobody's really complained about, feeling like unsafe, like they're going to get robbed or the police are going to come after them or that kind of thing. But anyway, so from Petra, you're staying down at a 5-star hotel. These rooms are pretty unique. They're really nice. And the food at these hotels is really good for both breakfast and dinner. Oh my gosh. I mean, that one is over the top. The way you imagine Dubai over the top, also for Petra, especially if you go to one of the good 5-star hotels over there, the food. And then in the nighttime, they've got music, they've got all this kind of stuff. So it is that magical experience that you've probably have in your mind before you've arrived. That's exactly what it is over there. So after Petra and Little Petra, and hopefully you're seeing Petra by night if you've arrived on one of the days that it's there, we now relocate you to Wadi Rum. Wadi Rum is this red valley. You feel like you're on Mars, or just on the moon. You just feel like you're somewhere else, not on this planet. Really crazy landscape. And you're going on a 4x4 to explore the whole thing. So you've got your escort driver, you've got your guide, and you're seeing this stuff, and you're doing a full day tour of it. And you're basically watching the sunset over there, and you meet other people. Everybody's just kind of happy. There's all kinds of places to take those Instagram famous photos. Everybody loves that stuff because there's some very specific locations over there. People love taking photos. And at the end of that night, you're sleeping in a luxury tent. The tent will have a bathroom in there. It has a shower in there. So it feels like a hotel room, to be honest. On the outside, it looks like a tent. I had a hard time with my father because when I travel with him, the rule is he can't ask me any questions. So he didn't know, he knew nothing, and he trusts me with that. But when we got there, I'm not going to stay over here. I'm not crazy. No, this is for strange people. I'm not going to do this. I'm not alien like these people. These people are from a different planet. I said, Dad, relax. Like it's a hotel. No, it's not. It's just a blanket. These people, they put a blanket. There's nothing there. I'm going to sleep on the floor, and there's something, the cockroach, they're going to eat me in the nighttime. I said, Dad, go open the place. And then he opened it up. He's like, this is nice. I said, yeah, that of course is nice. So like, oh, it's not bad. I like it, actually. I said, yeah, I told you, Dad, I like it. And then at the end of that night, they've got like music, and they've got the locals dancing together. They do this thing called the dubki. And they've got music and just, again, it's that kind of, it just puts you in a good mood, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And from there, now it's just kind of depending if you're going to be going into Israel, like we've done traditionally, at least before things got a little
escalated.
Escalated. There you go. In this instance, we would then cross over into Israel. But for those who say, nope, I'm only staying in Jordan, or I'm going to be combining Jordan with another country, that's when we will, instead of going into Israel, we'll take them up to the Dead Sea. I mean, that's fun. I mean, when you're just floating in the Dead Sea there, and you're sitting there and reading a newspaper, and your body's floating, and It's a good experience. Just one thing I'll tell you, do not shave your body the day before
Oh,
going in the thing. I didn't know that, and I did. And
oh
it
no.
burned, it burned, it burned. Oh boy, it burned.
So
Um,
you're floating because there's a lot of salt in the water,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to go in salt water with hurt.
No, if you're a girl and you got hairy legs, just leave them hairy. Just it's better than the pain. That's all. Um, but yeah, don't want to shave. Don't want to shave the day before. Um, and
And don't put
also,
your eyes under either.
oh no, God no.
No.
And you got to wear. I mean, we provide you with what's called an itinerary letter, and it'll tell
Mm,
you every day. Please be in the lobby at this time. Bring A,
mhm.
B, and C. We're taking you to 1, 2, and 3. You'll get back at your hotel at that. We provide all that information to you. Something that we tell you in this letter is to be wearing water shoes,
Ah,
um, because it's hot. So you step in the wrong place, it's gonna it's gonna burn a little bit. So as
mm.
long as you're wearing your water shoes, you haven't shaved the day before, you put on your sun protection, you're gonna love it. But you have to know what you're doing before you get in there. That's all.
Yeah.
Um, and remember the minerals from this mud pool. I mean, the Dead Sea. There's mud below, so people are doing their whole body.
Hmm.
They're doing their whole body with the stuff, and I've done. I've been there more than once. It's really soothing on the skin, um, and they also have an area over there you can purchase their products, but they're world famous. The Dead
Hmm.
Sea stuff. I mean, you'll find this stuff
Yeah.
all over Amazon and everything else. So, I mean, if you have a bottle, just kind of put it there. I guess I don't know, but no, but they got it for shampoo, skin, everything that you can imagine. They got it for, and then. Um, After that, people kind of rinse themselves off and whatnot. So, yeah. And then from there, people will go back to Man. And I've kind of talked about some of the places over there. There's also a archaeological site not too far from Amman that sometimes people will go and visit. But for those who do want to go into Israel,
Hmm.
from Wadi Rum, the valley, we cross Aqaba to Elat. And prior to the Second World War, that used to be one city. Now it's two cities, two different countries. But that is where the crossing is. It takes about 30 minutes. I had said that earlier. And now
Hmm.
you're in Elat, which is Israel's most famous resort over there. And it's a very
Yeah.
different experience, what you would imagine from Israel. So for a lot of people who like say, okay, this is what Israel's like, this is what I expect, and they start off in Elat, they're like, wait a minute, this is not at all like I expected Israel to be. But it's a very modern place. There's lots of nightlife in Elat, and it is a good place to go snorkeling. They got the nice
Hmm.
Red Sea over there. Um, and after that, we leave Elat, um, and we relocate by land to Jerusalem. Now that's the Israel that people envision, you know.
Right.
And there's a lot of things to see and do in and around Jerusalem. If you didn't see the Dead Sea on the Jordanian side, it's on the Israeli side that we typically take you for essentially the same exact experience.
Hmm.
There's no real difference between the two. I mean, you could literally see each other when you're inside the water. Um,
Right.
so, and then Jerusalem itself, I mean, you can spend lots of time over there um, to see the highlights. Most people just will spend like a couple of days to see a little bit of the highlights. I'm one of those guys that went in depth and didn't leave the city until I covered everything.
Mm.
Um, but most people aren't extreme like I am. So I just say, show me like, and then also it's from Jerusalem. A day trip is made to the West Bank,
Mm.
and that over the years has been relatively like stable thing. There's lots of money to be made on both sides, and they just like nobody likes to lose money, so just they make sure everybody's safe and it goes smoothly and all this stuff. We never had a
Mm.
problem with doing that day trip, and it's a famous one because that's where Jesus is said to have been born in Bethlehem,
Hmm.
right? And there's some other sites like Jericho. It's an archaeological site over there. I'm of Greek descent, and there's a place called Marsaba, and that's a beautiful Greek monastery over there.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, women are not allowed inside; only men are. But even for females, if you're taken to the site and you go across, you see a beautiful monastery perched on the hill.
Mm,
Um, so that in itself is really nice. And this is all on the West Bank side.
right.
And then there's also the Mount of Temptation. Um, my buddy made a joke the other day because he wanted to go there. He's like, "Is there just like a bunch of hot women over there, or what do you see?" I said, "No, that was a long time ago. The Temptations are gone. Okay, there's 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 not a harem of women waiting for you to get there so they could feed you grapes. You know, um, there's a cable car ride,
Mm,
and it'll take you to this mountain, and there's like monasteries carved into the mountain type of thing, and
mm.
you're walking in and out of it, and you got sometimes views of the landscape, or you're walking back into it and you see part of the monastery. Um, but again, all of this stuff is can be seen only if you're doing that day trip from
Right.
Jerusalem to the West Bank. And we do that two different ways. One is shared, meaning with other travelers.
Hmm.
That's okay. That one's a little bit more cost friendly. The other way to do it is on a private basis. The advantage of doing it on a private basis is a lot more places are covered. The shared one
Mm.
is very basic. It just goes to Bethlehem and Jericho. The private one is something that I'd have direct control over, and we make sure you don't miss anything important.
And as I said earlier, so Charlie's tour is more focused on the Christian sites, and I when I send people, usually they're Jewish. I send my family and friends over, and so they want to focus more on the Jewish sites. We coordinate and make sure that you would see the sites that are important to you as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, my great 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 grandfather founded the Hebron Jewish community, so that's on the West Bank. So that's where my family originated.
That's cool. Small little world. Um, and then from Jerusalem, um, we now spend, however, again, typically spend like a day and a half covering the highlights. Um, but for those who want more time, and that's many customers, they want more time than that, we just extend
Mhm.
the duration of this standard 10-day tour of Israel and Jordan. And they'll say, hey, you know what, I got 14 days, so we'll add 4 more days in Jerusalem type of thing. Or we have 2 more days, so they add 2 more days there. And there's Jewish sites there, there's sites for Christians, there's sites for Muslims.
Awesome.
Whatever you are, there's worthwhile things for you to visit while you're in and around Jerusalem, for sure,
Hmm.
and the West Bank too. After Jerusalem, we relocate to Tel Aviv, which was the city that you were talking about a little
Yeah.
earlier. Um, it's got a very different vibe from Jerusalem. It's only 45 minutes away from Jerusalem. So
Mm.
sometimes people say, well, it's only 45 minutes. Why are we relocating when it's so close? Because most of the excursions, day trips at this point are north of Tel Aviv. So if we
Mm.
kept you in Jerusalem, you're going to keep going in and out of Tel Aviv. So
Mm.
logistically, it's not in your best interest. And then when you leave the country, you're going to be leaving out of Tel Aviv anyway. So
Right.
again, logistically, you're better off relocating to Tel Aviv to a nice hotel over there. And it's a nice change of pace. Tel Aviv is modern, it's vibrant, and it's got fun nightlife. It's got really good
Yeah.
nightlife up there.
That's why
Um,
my daughter loved it.
well, your daughter and my dad, he was upset with me because, like, he's like, why didn't we spend more time in Tel Aviv? He wanted to go party there and everything else. Um, and I'm like, all right, so I'm like, like talk to mom. I don't know. Um, but it is a good change of pace, and it'll keep you entertained over there. So from Tel Aviv, we've made a day trip now to like Nazareth.
Mm.
You got the Golan Heights over there. You got a bunch of sites up there. You've got Roman ruins as well. So it's all
Mm.
not just religious sites. And there's another day trip which takes you closer to the border with Lebanon.
Mm.
And you've got these white chalk cliffs over there, which are really nice, very pretty, and nice water over there as well.
Mm.
So it's a good combination of religious sites, nature, beaches, party, um, you know, sea, snorkeling, you see. And this
Yeah.
is very deliberate, because if we only do religious sites, are we only doing partying, are we, people are going to get bored with it. So,
Right.
so we really try to change it up every day. So you feel like it wasn't like yesterday and it's going to be different from tomorrow, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's,
I think it's a shame that it's a difficult country right now to navigate to and see, because it is just it's a beautiful country, and so vibrant in so many different areas in such a small space to see. So, I mean, I think right now they have opened it up again to tourism. Am I correct? I thought I should have checked before we started. I thought that I read that they've just started allowing people to come back, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
yeah, they have. There is obviously some reluctance on customers' end to go just because they hear of different things that are going on every single day.
Yep.
Um, but we all just pray that it calms down sooner rather than later, because everybody's
Yeah.
missing out on a very beautiful part of the world. It's got a very strong feeling to it when you're there. I mean, you feel like you're in a special place. It doesn't feel like another Jerusalem. It doesn't feel just like another town or city. It feels like just somewhere that is special to the earth.
Definitely.
So, and then as far as when to go, I wouldn't say right now is the best time. I'm not talking about war. I'm talking about weather.
Yeah.
Um,
Heat.
it is, yeah, it is, and I've done it before. My very first
Mm.
trip to Israel, I've been many times. And I was at this point, I was young and dumb, and I was like, oh well, it's August, let's just go to Israel, and I was like, oh my God, you know. Um, so that was just brutal. So September and October are good times to go.
Mm.
April, May are very good times. It doesn't mean you can't go the other times of the year, but those are the ideal months to go, specifically because of the weather.
Mm.
Ideal times, I should say. So, and then
And
when you,
I'm sorry, with the government being Jewish and Shabbat is Friday night to Saturday night, do most things shut down during that time, or can you still go out on a Friday night?
yeah, so this is part of what we try to coordinate. There's a lot of intricacy in putting a tour together for Israel and Jordan. There's also certain days of the week where they would close the border between Israel and Jordan. And then I had mentioned earlier that the Petra by night is only on certain days of the week. And
Hmm.
then you had just mentioned this with Friday and how it
Yeah.
works with religious um, practice. So if it's done right, the customer won't feel the difference with any of these obstacles. But
Mm.
if he just goes and buys a ticket and rolls the dice, you may find yourself in one of those situations where the border has been closed, or you're
Mm.
now in Jerusalem on Friday. You're like, what am I going to be doing with my day? A lot of the stuff's closed. So we
Right.
typically like to have people, um, either on a day trip, like going to the Dead Sea on a Friday, or maybe they're in a lot on a Friday, that kind of thing.
Mm.
So there's a lot of coordination behind the scene. Um, and as long as people talk to us before they purchase their airfare, and they talk to you before they purchase airfare,
Hmm.
um, they're going to enjoy it like going on a roller coaster. They won't know the difference.
Okay,
So that's
good.
that's it. And then as far as getting around, Jordan definitely, I had said earlier, it needs to be on a private basis. Uh,
Mm.
Israel, that one's a little bit trickier. That one's, I would say, more of a hybrid between private and shared.
Mm.
Israel is really expensive. Jordan gives good value. What you get versus what you pay, you get very good value out of it.
Mm.
Israel is expensive, even simple little taxi rides and things like that. Um, so, when people have a bigger budget, or more commonly, when people are traveling as a large group, like 8 people,
Mm.
in this kind of instance, it's easier for me to provide everything on a private basis, because the cost is split, but when you're one person or two people, because we take them as well,
Right.
we generally encourage them to, let us do it both a little private and shared just to help keep the cost down.
Right. And I think for a lot of these sites that you go to visit, it means a lot more when you're with others who are enjoying it with you. I've done both shared tours and private tours, but I really like to be around people who are experiencing it, possibly for the first time or from a different perspective. I think it gives you a better experience.
Indeed. Indeed. And you meet a lot of people along the way. You're going to meet a lot of people at the tourist attractions. You're going to meet people at when you're having dinner with them at the Dead Sea. So it is one of those kind of trips that you don't forget. Some trips you just have fun. You kind of relax for a few days or a week or whatever, and a couple of years later you just forget about it. This one you don't, because the things that you see and do are so rich that they can't really be replicated elsewhere in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
So, how many days total are you spending in Israel in your tour?
So the first, when people do it, Israel and Jordan together, the first 3 days are in Jordan, typically.
Okay.
And it's on the fourth day that we will transfer them from Jordan to Israel. So from the fourth day until the 10th day, they're in Israel. On the 10th day, they fly home, unless they've said, we would like to spend more time, and they stay later. But I would say the majority of the time is in Israel. 3 days Jordan, 7.5 Israel.
Okay. That's a good amount of time. And excuse me, I have a lot of family there. So, people I know who go there also have family there. It's more of you're going to live the life in Israel. It feels very homey. Excuse me, not just like you're going to all these sites. It's less tourism and more just cultural and spiritual.
Yeah, for sure it is. So, and the fact that I've been there so many times, it means that I like it. It is a special place.
Yes.
And yeah, you'll like the food in both countries. They both have good food. I'll have to be honest, but Jordan is like on the top of the world when it comes to food, and just it's so much of it too. So
And it's definitely it's got more of an American feel to the country. It's very modern. So it's not like you'll feel out of place or that, it's a foreign kind of place, for the most part.
oh, in Israel, especially when you're in Jerusalem, not only there but especially there are a lot of Americans of Jewish descent who have moved there to Jerusalem. They don't have any accent or anything, and it feels like you're talking to people from back home type of thing.
Yeah.
So, and you're finding a lot of people from different parts of the world who've moved there, and are there temporarily, some are there permanently, but you'll find Jewish people from Ethiopia. In places
Yeah.
like that even, and then you've got people from you've got people of Armenian descent there as well. Obviously, you got the Palestinians. So you're going to find a lot of people that you find Russian Jews as well. So it's a pretty diverse mix up of people that you come across over there.
What I would normally tell clients who are going to Arab countries who are Jewish is, just to be careful. You don't advertise your religion, wear jewelry or things that make it obvious that you're Jewish. It can be dangerous. So just beware. And I think it's the same when you go in America and many places. So it's not that different. But it can be dangerous.
And I would say between Israel and Jordan, Israel is the more liberal of the two countries.
Definitely.
Yeah. Jordan is a little bit more on the conservative side. So just dress a little bit more conservatively. In Israel, just, I mean, technically, you can dress just like you do here in the U.S. Unless until you're going into the religious sites, then you're supposed to be covered up more. But just as a general rule, in Jordan, females cover themselves up a little bit more than they
So even
do.
when they're at the Dead Sea, are they wearing conservative kind of swimsuits?
No, this one's like an exception to it. So in the Dead Sea, they're wearing like bikinis and things like that. But it's more like when you're in Amman and things like this. Once you actually once you actually get into like the Petra and all of that, it's more nature. So it's not really that much of a big deal. But yeah, I would say specifically in Amman, we encourage girls to dress a little bit more conservatively over there.
Yeah, especially for the historic sites and the religious sites. You'll want to cover your shoulders, your knees.
Yeah.
So is that basically your whole tour then for Israel and Jordan? Did we miss anything?
No, that's what we do typically. I mean, I can go into further detail, but yeah, that's
No,
the
that's great.
basics of what we do. I try to
And
be
then,
quiet because I always over talk. I always go for the time.
no,
So
you're good. We're doing really good today on our timing.
we're doing
But
okay.
so do you know what the cost might be, or
I can't see anything, so I'm gonna have to get
you
really
can't?
close. Yeah, I can't.
Charlie
I
had
have to.
some procedure today on his eyes, so you might have noticed that he is having issues with his eyes during this.
Yeah, so I have to. I can't see anything, so now I got to go to. Um, so this 10-day tour with good quality hotels is 3,630.
Okay.
3,630. And that's per person based on two people, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or whatever. So it's pretty good value. If you just call some companies out there, you'll see how much more expensive it is than this.
Yeah. And that, of course,
They're,
doesn't include your international air, but it takes care of you from the moment you get there to the moment you leave.
and there's no domestic flights needed between Jordan and Israel. So we
Yeah.
pick you up at the airport in Amman, Jordan, and we take you to the airport in Tel Aviv, Israel, Palestine, and then that's it. From the time you get there to you're out, it's fully guided. And every single day we keep you busy with seeing the best that both lands have to offer.
And you have kind of a unique way of dealing with solo travelers, and this would be, a pretty popular solo traveler destination, I would say. So normally you don't charge a single supplement; you just charge whatever the hotel room would be and the guide. But if you're doing the private guides, it's one person instead of two sharing the cost, so it's a little more expensive that way. But do you not add a solo supplement on this one?
Except for the lodging, we don't charge anymore. So when it comes to the tour guides and the ground transportation and everything else, we don't charge more to solo travelers. The only difference in cost is for lodging specifically. Because if a hotel room costs $200 a night, just some random number, if two people are splitting the cost of this $200 room, or one person is sleeping in that $200 room, the room still costs $200.
Right.
So that is the only difference in cost. Everything else, there's no supplemental fees.
Okay. And the other thing that I really like about Charlie's tours, and he does these tours all over the world in the places, he has chosen very carefully the countries that he works in based on how much he's needed, really. Some travelers are really good at navigating, and if there's good infrastructure and there's no need for us, then he doesn't go there. But he has found places around the world and that really benefit from his types of tours. And the way that he does it is you can leave any day that you want, except when you have these things like Friday nights or the Petra at night. But for the most part around the world, you can just decide, I want to go this day and I want to leave and I want to come back this day. And we can customize everything in between and make it work for you. So that's one of the reasons Charlie and I work so well together, because my clients like custom. So let me do the little housekeeping thing. Did you want to add anything before I go on to that?
I have so many funny stories, but I'll stop here.
Okay.
I've got so many stories of my. I mean, we were stuck in traffic over there, and my dad sings Greek music, and Israelis love Greek music, as do the Arabs.
As does everybody.
And I got him to start singing on the bus. We're just bored in traffic and stuff like that. So, it's good times with my dad over there.
So what I was going to say is go ahead and scan the QR code and enter to win the Oceana Alaska cruise this quarter. That's my contest giveaway this quarter. And if you put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday in your comments, we will give you $50 off any Charlie the Traveler tour anywhere in the world that you would like to book through my company, Dream Vacations, Lainey, Melnick and Associates. We are out of the Westlake Hills area of Austin, Texas, and happy to help you anywhere in the world. So, and please do watch my YouTube channel for my Japan and South Korea video, which is coming up. One of my videos from Japan already has over 105,000 views in a week. So it was just this fabulous Japanese man making a crepe ice cream cone. So it's awesome. But look out for my full video.
Cool.
So Charlie, I think we have to discuss next week. Are you going to be okay to do Tuesday next week, or you think you need some recovery time?
Oh, I'm a bulldozer girl. I'll be fine. I'm a bulldozer. So
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm getting so close to my but I can't see.
August 5th, it looks like.
So we could. I'm thinking. Let's talk. There's a couple of them. I don't know if you remember, but the initial Greece one we did got completely botched. I don't know if you ever want to redo that one.
Yeah, you want to redo Greece? We could.
Yeah, we could redo Greece.
Okay, yeah, because that was our first show, and we didn't know what we were doing then. So yes. All right, on August 5th we'll redo Greece, and I have a medical thing the next week, so I'm not going to be able to do it on the 12th. So we'll have to skip that week, but I'm back the next week. So we'll talk about that on the 5th.
On the 5th of August, yeah.
Yes,
right,
next Tuesday Greece.
I'm
All right, well,
ready.
it's great to talk to you. I hope you take care of yourself and get better soon. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you for everything, Lainey. We love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.